Hello guys, my name is Nine and welcome back to another video. Before we get any further into today's video, if you guys are new to my channel, please consider dropping a like and subscribing as it greatly helps everything that I'm doing here. Now at this point, you guys are wanting to see the cost and the upkeep of the base. So looking at the cost and the upkeep here, the metal frag cost is a little inflated as I did spam a ton of garage doors. However, other than that, it's pretty normal. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please either leave a comment down below or join my Discord, link in the description, and I'll talk to you guys and answer anything there. Alright guys, let's get into it. Alright guys, before we actually go ahead and build the base, we're going to be going on a little tour. So starting at the outside, we have 3 entrances just like this. Now this does look a little different from the cinematic. As you notice, there are 2 bedrooms here, but now I've opted for 3 doors instead after actually playing a wipe in it. So bedroom on to your right, and to your left or right, you have these peaks. They go outside the compound or our little mini channel wall, and they're just overall really nice. You can see that they're easy to use, all that stuff. You can also peek over these. All the little angles are nice. Continuing around, we'll be met with auto turrets here. There's one on every side. There's garage doors to keep these closed during nighttime, and batteries behind here for obviously your turrets. Continuing around here, you'll see that we have what will be our main entrance into the base. This side's honeycomb. This other corner is honeycomb as well, but this guy actually leads into base. So jumping up to here, furnace jump up, nice and simple. Some furnaces to our left and some box space. Now we will either go up to open core or semi-open core, as I'd like to call it, or down to our starter. Starter unit's very simple. 2 bags, furnaces, tier 2, a vending machine, which was our entrance into base originally, and just tons of loot space and your main TC, obviously. Apologies, this slide stopped me from reaching the TC. Nice and easy. Okay. Jumping up to the next level, we will be met with our semi-open core. These turrets are guarding our shooting floor, and they have peeks into our little core here. And it just overall is a cool area. Behind the tier 3, there's actually a locker, just a use of space, and each loot room has 5 boxes. Our tier 3 fits up here. You can spam garage doors through this area. However, it's personal preference. You can leave it all open so the turrets have more angles. Up to you. Going up to the next level. This is where we can kind of see our auto turret. I have 1 bedroom on this level. You can fit more bags and beds in here. However, there's beds on the roof and I kind of just don't really need them here. Also, you can put them on the shooting floor portions, but it's all personal preference. Another battery room goes here. Just another, this is where I usually like to put my SAM site switches. Good spot for it. The bottom ones are then for turrets. And as you see here, we have awesome peaks inside, outside of compound, or main channel wall rather. You can change these however you'd like, however they're awesome. And this also is a mix of peaks that go into our semi-open core. And it's all the same on every side. So just giving you a little look at that before going up to roof. So there's no roof peaks in this base, not really needed. Top downs don't happen anymore, but jumping up above these guys, the jump up is a little annoying sometimes, however, you'll get used to it. Going up any one of our 3 entrances, or exits rather, to roof. There's 3 sides here, 3 auto turrets covered by our little roof tiles, and then 3 bedrooms. Enough room to fit a heli in here. You can even cap this area off, this central portion, and go from there. And then I opted to not add windmills or anything to the space yet, as it doesn't look as good in the tour. However, I will show you where exactly you'd want to place those in the actual build of the base. So, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, any of that stuff, leave a comment down below in the comment section, or consider joining the Discord, and I can help you guys there. Alright, without further ado, let's get into the actual build. Alrighty guys, I know some people like to see the footprint before we actually get started, so here I'm going to be showing it off. Okay, so TC compartment is here. This will be our little loot room here. This is where tier 2 was. This would be the little vending machine right here, and this would be the jump up to the next floor. Okay, and then this entire section around is the shell with our peaks. Bedroom, so this would be a bedroom, entrance, triangle peaks. The batteries here, the turrets right here, and that about does it. You can see it's a very simple shell, however it's cool, it's effective, and it's just something different from the meta that we've kind of been dealing with. So without further ado, we'll be wiping the island and we'll be going ahead. So the starter is very basic. I personally like to start with 4 triangles like this and wall in all these guys. Now this door frame, I actually prefer to make it wood so we can create an airlock, and you'll see why in just a second. But for now, we'll wall this guy in, add our TC, You can do your TC one of a few ways. I personally either like to pull it forward like this, where it makes it really easy to access, or you can move it like this and actually fit a furnace in this compartment. In this certain build, we're actually going to use a furnace here. If you do it right, it should work like that. Adding half a shelf in here and adding some double door frames will go a long way, and we're good. Put your bags in here, you have room for boxes, yada yada yada. You can also use a single door frame here as well if you really want to. It's all personal preference. So coming out here and expanding 2 more triangles, you'll see what I'm talking about, the airlock. Full wall here, single door frame, put a furnace here for what will be a jump up later. Apologies. And now this will become a little airlock, as long as you rotate this door to swing it out. So this is an early game airlock, just something nice to have. But to make this airlock actually useful, we need to come up here and seal this guy off, like this. Apologies for taking a second. And coming into here. So you have your roof exit, you have your entire first floor. Fill in with any deployables that you'd want. I'll be actually coming through here and removing this instantly to kind of show the progression of this. So what we'll do here is I like to spam garage doors through this section. This will then become our vending machine as early as possible. Basically, whenever you get what will be our little sections on the outside, I like to replace this with the vending machine, but just to show the upgrades now, nice and easy. Now before you actually go and build in the outside, so just high quality this foundation, and you'll be able to reach the wall at other parts, so I wouldn't worry too much. So the way we're going to do this is from out that single door / vending machine, you're going to want to place, this is symmetrical on all 3 sides, a square on all 3 sides like such, and a triangle. You can now wall in this guy like this, and this will become battery room. Now you're not going to have the batteries right away, however I do because I'm on a build server. So just to show what goes there, you can do it just like that. Okay. Now we're going to place triangles on all 3 of these sides, and I'm going to toggle off symmetry for a second here. 2 sides will become honeycomb like this, honeycombing the first floor, and 1 side will become a jump up, which is the side here from the door. So whatever side your door is on, you walk straight out that door and you're met with this guy. And to do this guy, we're gonna do it like so. And I personally, you can use a ladder hatch or whatever you have at the time, or a ladder, it doesn't really matter. However, I just tend to use a furnace as that is the easiest. Now walling this guy in, and just walling in this entire floor and capping her off. Throwing in my loot room in here, and expanding him 1 level higher. And just keep moving that double door that you keep reusing over and over is what I usually do. Now this entire section can be filled with garage doors. A 3 garage door path to this section, followed by another 1, 2, and if you don't have your boxes placed, you might not get the last one there in this section, but if you can, get this guy in here by picking up boxes. Now I'll show this wall on the outside. You're gonna want to armor. That was the TC wall that we were talking about before, and then sheet metaling this entire section is awesome. And if you have the HQM these guys, just these 3 tiles, and you're usually good. Same with that. And that will be pretty darn good. Now let me just place these boxes just for convenience sake, and I'll actually place these boxes a different way to make it so you can get to TC easier. It'll stick through, but it makes TC access much easier, as you can see. Now I'll place my tier 2 in this section. You should have done this earlier, but it doesn't really matter. Timing is not of the essence. And you can fit 2 bags down here and more bags on the 2nd floor. Okay, going up to the next floor. What we are going to do is we're going to build up this honeycomb so it's symmetrical on all sides. And then if you are going to be logging off for the night at this time and you have lots of metal frags, what I suggest doing is double dooring off these guys. And the reason we want to do that is to not leave an expense or a cheap raid path to what would be TC. because this wall right here is our TC wall. It's otherwise one wall raid, which obviously isn't the best. So if we can just put doors on this and make them guess which side it is, it can get much more expensive. If you have garage doors, slap them on these slots instead. We'll switch them to that pretty darn soon. Okay. So I'm just going to upgrade this top section to make it all good, and we're going to build up to the next level. So go on these squares and build them up too high. Now coming to the outside in twig, I like to place a shelf like this. So placing a shelf out of twig, you can do this beforehand, but I prefer doing it this way. And I'll show you another way to do it, and then placing this square in here. Now I'll show you a quick other way to do it. If you're building this entire guy up, let's say you're building it like this. The way I did it on a live server would be to upgrade these guys like this. Now coming down here, placing the half wall, upgrading it like so. It's a little annoying to get this wall, and then just doing it like that. And then running back around and getting to here. Okay. Now what we'll do is we will place a shelf half height in this guy. Apologies, did not have symmetry on, so gotta reset it. Double door frame on top, and I'm going to add a ramp down here with a triangle for our loot room, and then this guy rotate like this. If you have sheet metal, make sure there's a floor frame here. If you have sheet metal, upgrade this guy right away, and this guy. Pretty important. Now you can come over to these guys, and you can wall these in. Now I'll switch off symmetry for a second to show what we'll be placing. I'll cap off this entire guy in sheet metal, but the way I'll do this, if you have a locker, I love to place it right here. And then this doesn't need to be sheet metal, it can be stone. And we'll place our tier 3 here. This is a great spot for it. No reason not to. And then this one, I personally just like to do furnaces. I always need tons of furnaces in a base that doesn't really have large furnace access very easy. This doesn't mean to be sheet metal, it can just be like that. Now I'll toggle back on symmetry real quick, and I'll show the box placement. Now just something to note is this garage door may not place proper if this is stone instead of sheet metal. So if it's not placing, upgrade to sheet metal like that. Place your boxes like this. When you place these two back ones, you're going to want to get them as far back and as far to the right and left as possible and make it the best. As long as it's far back though, it's going to be good. And then you can place one in the middle here. Okay, and then these are all pretty easy to access. Get this guy a little better. Okay, pretty easy to access, but nice amount of storage. Toggle off symmetry here, and I like to add a embrasure like this. And if I ever sheet metal this, I upgrade it and rotate it like this, just so it's a peek into if someone's top downing me. Now garage dooring this guy off, and coming above, I can continue to wall this guy in. And cool. Now I'll place I'll place window frames there. Two entrances, or exits rather, just shooting for. Capping this guy off. Double doors go here. Glass windows. And another battery spot. Like I said, I like to use this for SAM sites. Now you can put as many doors and stuff in this section as possible. However, I just leave it as kind of open. It doesn't really matter to me. So it's all kind of preference on this. And I'll sheet metal that guy, just to deter that top part. Alright, so from this point, you'll kind of see the entire outside of the base. Do a little fly around, give you guys an idea. And we'll keep her going. Now the shell is a little weird, so to say. So I'm going to go through this a little slowly. So the shell, to make it, off this triangle, you're going to place a square, a triangle, and a square. Now cut on the other side. Square, triangle, square. Like that. And now you see that this is our shell. So coming over here, if you have sheet metal, want to upgrade it to its desired grade right away. And these foundations will decay if you do not place stuff on top of them like this. So here I'm placing my peaks. I'm walling this guy in, placing my door to all of this. Like this. Capping off. As long as you guys place all these things, it will all be fine. Put it that way. Like everything will connect and you'll all be good. It's kind of the thing to do. And apologies for flying around so much. I know it is annoying at times. Frames here just to kind of like change the peak, give it a little more of a head glitch. And you can sheet metal these off, doesn't really matter. Okay. Now if you can sheet metal these frames like this, it's always good. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna build up these frames 3 high, place a triangle here, windows, and this will be one part of the shooting floor entirely done, just like that. Sorry for flying around. Now we're gonna build this guy up. Now there's a few ways to do it. The way I personally prefer to do it is building these guys 2 up, like this. You can also just build these guys up, but I prefer doing it like both, just for the added stability. This, then we do a frame in here. Now to place these roof triangles, I suggest doing it like this. Roof triangle from below. If you can place it from where I'm standing here, it'll make it much easier, rather than coming up to here and trying to place it like, this is obviously, you can tell without flying, it's annoying. So come down to here and place it like this. Now you're wondering why these huge gaps are here. Grab now, make sure to do this after you've done the section that we've just done. Grab floor triangles and place them here. Okay? That's pretty important, just so you guys know. Now you can get your door, so your single door frames to kind of like make sure these angles aren't awkwardly exposed. And you can even cap this guy off. Add double door frames. And you're most likely wondering where this goes. We actually like to honeycomb this entire section up like this. This will be an auto turret location, so we're going to put half walls here, windows on top, and we're going to put 2 double doors like so. And you can put a roof tile. If you come down below like this, you should be able to place a roof tile. Sometimes this double door frame blocks placement, so if you can place this roof tile here before and then place the double door, it'll work easier. Just a kind of order of operations thing there. Then we'll door this guy off. Okay, coming down to here. You can garage door this guy off if you really want, however, I tend not to because I like to leave the auto turret always watching. And a good upgrade to do is coming down to here and shoot one of these 2 guys. That guy right there. And then if you can, now I know you can't reach this back wall, but before upgrading it, I suggest upgrading this wall before placing this honeycomb. Apologies that I'm doing that late. And if you can, coming on the outside and sheet metal these walls like this. Foundations, always good. I know it looks weird there. Little sanctuary bug. Okay, now I'm gonna go to roof, and we're going to be building the bedrooms. Super simple. Just like gonna seal these guys off. I'll sheet metal the whole roof usually. Roof tiles off like this. Roof triangle, like this. Where I then like to place my auto turrets. You can move your auto turret locations on here. It's personal preference, guys. It's all up to you. And then I like to glass window like this, just to not have to waste too many embrasures. And then a locker will go in here. Bed. Double door. Now your best spot for windmills is to build these guys. 1 higher on every side. Sheet metal them if you can, if you want to look and be technically stability well. And then you should be able to, apologies for not having a windmill on my inventory, place 3 windmills like so. And here's how it looks with windmills, so you guys can see that. Apologies, I think I might be saying that wrong, but it's okay. If you haven't already, making this like this is an airlock, double door, single door. You can get pushed through here, but still good airlock. A good trick for you guys to actually really know about, shotgun traps placed like this go a long way. They kill a ton of rats. These shotgun traps are really dirty. Even just placing them like this as well. These guys. I know this is a random thing that I'm kind of mentioning, but these shotgun traps are absolutely hilarious, and I've seen a lot of kills come across with these guys. Thought I'd mention that. Finish off our bedroom down here. Okay. And now upgrades we're going to talk about. Basically, sheet metal these guys, these guys, these guys. Just everything around the entire core should be sheet metal. You can kind of see that here. Touchy. And then coming into here, the only last thing to really, I guess, worry about is you can add more garage doors through this section you suggest sheet metal on this entire first floor. Obviously put your boxes in there. And then this, if you are loaded, I'm actually going to quickly show, because we've been having a ton of questions about it over and over. I'd like to show, if you want to get a compound on this base or any of the most recent base designs, I'm going to quickly show you how. So out of twig, what I'll do is I'll build a triangle, a square, and a triangle out. And then I'm going to place a square, place a square back like this. Now this is going to be a basic compound with disconnectables. That's all it's going to be. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to place a little guy like this. And this isn't added into the base cost, just so you guys are aware. I'll just do my typical gatehouse design. And then build out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming like this. We sheet metal this guy. And I just want to show a way to do it because people have been asking a lot about it, because anti-grief is a big question in these bases. Place this. Now you can break this guy. Just thought it'd be a nice thing to add to give you guys more options on the base design. And then, now apologies if I don't place these walls properly, as I haven't tested this before, but we're just gonna be doing a very basic, how many are we looking at? Like 5. Looking at like, I'd say 15 walls for the compound. And here you go. Obviously this isn't perfect, but what practice this beforehand. I just want to show a little bit of a way for you guys to get this, because I know I've had a lot of questions about it. And then the last thing to show, now be aware the compound is fully optional, but I like to add this guy in here. This is a good spot to add your metal barricade. Sometimes it'll be a little buggy and this frame will just get in your way for no reason sometimes, and it's weird sometimes. So I'm going to show you what to do. In other words, if you place this frame and it's not letting you place a metal barricade here, because sometimes it would let you but sometimes it doesn't, what you can do is you can place a barricade like this. And apologies, it's a little difficult for me flying here. Should be able to. We're just going to do it like this. This is probably the best. I know it blocks a few angles, but if it is not able to place here, because sometimes it just doesn't work, and sometimes it does work. I've had it work on servers, I've had it not, and it's weird. And then this guy, this is really easy. You just stand on this part, and boom, boom. And then one more thing to mention, because I've been talking too much, is if you have people building off these sections like so, like this, and building around your compound, grab an HPF sensor, stick it in this corner. Apologies, not that corner. You're gonna want to stick it in this spot right here, not corners. Stick it like right here, right here. I'll show you what it looks like. And you will not be able to place things like here. So if you are having people, if you don't have a compound set up and they're getting grubby, HBF sensors, just kind of common BP, will go a long way. So thought I'd mention that for you guys because it's all good. Also, if you don't want to do this method, you can also just build this guy one up, one higher. Do this. This is probably a better option. I actually would recommend to you guys. I'm just trying to give you guys all the options. Try not to hide anything. Everything is subject to change. Like that. That also works perfectly fine too. Changes the look of base a little bit, but that will work perfectly fine. Trust me, boys. All right. That about does it for the base. I'm going to just show a few more things on screen while I'm talking over myself. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave a comment below in the description below. I'm more than happy to answer literally everything. Any questions, throw them my way, building related or anything. These externals here will work as anti-griefs perfectly fine, which is absolutely awesome. So yeah. And if you guys are looking to increase raid cost, I simply suggest adding a vending machine bunker right here. And to show you how that's done, sheet metal wall or high qual, grab a vending machine, stand where I am, shove it up against this wall as close as possible, and open the bunker. Bada bing, bada boom, and you can close it up with twig. I'll show that again. Nice and easy, boys. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Please, any questions, comments, or concerns, I'll say it again, join the Discord, comment below. I'm more than happy to answer absolutely anything, guys. So I love you all, and I will see you in the next one.